Welcome back, everybody. Now I need a new toaster, so today I'm comparing two models from Amazon, both of them very popular. One was kind of expensive, one was even more expensive. Now the reason I need a new toaster is a couple years ago I did a similar comparison, and the one I chose I liked a lot. It was 350 bucks, but it only lasted a year and a half, so I've been without that toaster for a while, but I wanted to try a new toaster out to see if one can replace that one and last a little bit longer than 18 months. So here are the two contenders. We have, on this side, we have the Buydeem, which was 70 bucks. And over here we have the Breville, which was 210. Both these are popular online. Both of them are 4-slot toasters, and both of them have some features that look pretty interesting. So let's compare the features and then get started. Let's take a look at the Buydeem first. Now it has levers where you manually lower the bread and it pops up with a toast, and you can push it up a little higher if you need to get it out. There's a cancel button, bagel button, defrost button, and reheat. Now the reheat button seems pretty popular online. What it does is it warms the toast without re-toasting it. So say you made breakfast, people aren't coming to the table, the toast is getting cold, put it back in the reheat, it warms it without toasting it. Kind of a cool feature. In the bagel function, they do point out that it only toasts the cut side, not both sides of the bread. Some people say that's good for hamburger buns too. Let's move this out of the way and move over to the Breville, the $210 model. Now all the buttons are on the top here. This does not have levers. It automatically lowers and raises by itself. You have a toast and cancel button over here. There's a lift and look, which during the toasting cycle, if you start thinking it's getting kind of brown, you can press that button, it raises up for a second, you can take a look, and lower back down, continue cooking. There's also a bagel button on this one and a frozen button. This one also has a button called a bit more, which say the toast comes up, it's not really dark enough. Hit that button, it goes in for maybe 30 more seconds, browns a little bit more than that. This has levers on the front with an LED indicator. Now that only goes 1 to 5, but the instructions say there's 12 browning levels, so it must have increments in between there. So I unpacked them, I washed them off, and I ran them through a couple cycles with nothing in there just to burn off anything inside. So now we're ready to get started. Now it would be a lot of bread to do 4 slots in 2 different toasters on 7 different browning levels. So what I'm gonna do is 4 slices of bread in each toaster on the minimum, on the maximum, and right down the center. And then later on, we'll try 1 slice of bread on all the different levels. I'm also gonna start one at a time so I can keep an eye on these. So let's start off with the Buydeem. I'm going to move the Breville out of the way here. All right, let's load this up with 4 slices of generic white bread. The dial on the Buydeem goes from 1 to 7. Let's start off with number 1 and see how it looks. We're all the way down to number 1. And here we go. Levers are pressed. Now we wait. While this is toasted, I'm going to be trying out the Bernie toaster tongs from Ototo. They're wooden tongs that supposedly help you get your toast out more easily. I'll keep using them throughout the review unless they don't work very well. We are toasting. I feel warmth. Okay, one side popped up. How about the other one? They both went down at the same time. There we go, pretty close to each other. It's pretty light, but we're gonna go with this. We're gonna take them out of here. I'm not sure these really help that much. Maybe I'll need them later, but right now I don't think I do. They're still pretty white, but they feel slightly toasted. Let me take these out of here. We're going 4 more here. Now we're going right down the center. Setting the dial to about 4 now. Here we go. All right, so the first one was pretty white. It didn't really look very brown, but it was toasted. I'll be curious how the next one does when it's right down the center. And hopefully the higher level doesn't burn completely. We're about 1.5 minutes in. We do have toast in the works here, but it's hard to really gauge at this point. We'll have to just be patient and see. Aha, almost exactly 2 minutes. This is the right side facing inward, right side facing outward. Looks pretty good. This is the left side facing inward, the left side facing outward. That's pretty even, looks pretty good. This is left side facing inward, right side facing inward. Left side facing outward, right side facing outward. I think it looks pretty good. Now for the interesting one where I go all the way to max and see how it turns out. Cranking all the way up, cranking all the way, we're all the way to 7. All the way to 7. I've tested toasters where this setting sets the smoke alarm off, hopefully not this time. But here we go. And we're off. I got the stopwatch going. We'll see how long this takes, and hopefully there's not too much smoke. At the 2.5 minute mark, I just saw some smoke fly in front of my face. This could be bad. Hopefully not. I don't know if you can see it yet, but there is a very faint smoke coming out of there right now. At the nearly 3 minute mark. I'm probably gonna need these for this round. Okay, good. We're done, we're done. Okay, we're done. You know what, not bad. Not bad at all. Let's pull these out of here. Not too much smoke for level 7, really. So here we go. I gotta say already, I don't find this very useful, so I'm just gonna ditch it. I tried. Level 7, this is facing inward on the left side, facing inward on the right side. I think it looks pretty good. Facing outward on the left side, facing outward on the right side. For level 7, you know what, I think it came out pretty nice. I will show you all these when I'm done with all of the rounds, but So far, so good on the Buydeem. All right, so I gotta admit, I was really happy with the Buydeem for the first set of tests. I think all 3 rounds looked really nice. But let's see how the $210 Breville holds up. Before I plug it in, I actually like the plug on the Breville. This is something I haven't really encountered too much before. It has a hole there where when you take it out of the wall, you can stick your finger in there for leverage, so you don't have to worry about putting undue stress on the cord or your hand. It's kind of cool. I like that. And we haven't even plugged it in yet. All right, so when I plug it in, the toast buttons light up on both sides. The other thing to point out is that the slider here is an LED slider, so you can see that the adjustments, it has a whole bunch of different increments there. So let's go all the way down, or as low as we can get. I guess that's level 1 on this side, level 1 on that side. We're ready to go. Here we go. Now for this one, you don't have levers. You just press the button and it supposedly lowers by itself. Let's check it out. Now the buttons turn red and they're slowly lowering down in there. That's very oddly satisfying. They also seem to sit pretty deep in there. So hopefully that leads to more even toasting around the edges, at least in the tops, because a lot of toasters, it kind of sticks out. These are very deep in there. I kind of like that. Now right now while I was toasting, the lift and look button is illuminated, so you could use that feature, but we will try that later. I'll try the lift and look feature later. Let's see how it browns level 1. The lift and look just turned off. That means I think we're down to the last few seconds. Here we go. Oh, they're slowly raising out of there. What's interesting about this one is that the Buydeem, they went off at separate moments. It was close, but not exactly the same. This time they went off the exact same moment. So it tells you the timing's pretty accurate on this one. Once again, we have a kind of still white but toasted bread. There really isn't much to show, so I'm just gonna set these aside and keep moving on to the next round, but I'll show all these when I'm done. All right, level 1 was about the same as the Buydeem. Let's try right in the center on this one as the number 3 and see how it looks. Here we go. Very slow and very satisfying seeing that go down like that. Very cool. We are at level 3, which seems to be right in the center. This is a very crummy review. There's a lot of crumbs in here. Around the 2.5 minute mark, the lift and look went off, so it means we're almost done here. Here it comes, here it comes. All right, so just at first glance, it looks pretty even. Let's see. All right, this is left side facing inward, right side facing inward. Not quite as even on the bottom. It doesn't look like. Left side facing outward, right side facing outward. I mean, it looks pretty good to me though. I'm nitpicking, the edges may be a little bit wider, but certainly well toasted. They all look about the same, so I think it looks pretty good so far. All right, here we go. This is the round that always makes me worry. This is where we max it out, and hopefully I don't set my smoke alarms off. The last one didn't. Hopefully this one doesn't either. We are cranking these all the way up, all the way to number 5, all the way to number 5. Here we go. Stopwatch is going. Let's see how long this takes. All right, the 3 minute mark, I'm starting to see a little bit of smoke in here. About as much as the Buydeem, but it is smoking. Oh yeah, maybe it's smoking a little more than the Buydeem now. Come on, hurry up. Hurry up. It's getting pretty warm in there. It's starting to smoke. Hopefully it's done soon. I got a column of smoke in front of me. Oh, I can see the edges getting burnt on one of these. Oh, it smells like burnt toast. Here we go. It's slowly lifting out. So who we got? Now, I might actually need this for this one. What do you guys think? Some people like that level of brownness, some people don't. Let me get these out of here. I take that back, I still don't need these. Left side facing inward, right side facing inward, left side facing outward, and the right side facing outward. That's the desired doneness to some people. This one doesn't seem like it's as dark as the others, but I could be nitpicking there. So let's quickly compare all these and then move on to the next set of tests. The first level, really there's no difference between the two of them. I feel like the middle level, the Buydeem, did a little bit better. It seems a little more even than the Breville. It's close, but I feel like the Buydeem may have done a little bit better. And on the top level, I mean, that's kind of a matter of preference, although they both seem pretty even across the board with their respective darkness. All these were facing outside. Let's try the inside facing bread and see how that looks. All these slices were facing inward. Now, once again, level 1's pretty much the same across the board. Buydeem looking pretty good, pretty even. Breville a little bit darker, but also pretty even. Now, as far as the highest level goes, the Breville is darker, but it's pretty consistent. The Buydeem is not quite as dark, but also rather consistent. Next up, I'm going to toast them to all the levels I didn't do in the first round. So for the Buydeem, it's going to be levels 2, 3, 5, and 6. On the Breville, it's going to be levels 2 and 4. That way we can take a look at the full range of toasting cycles. Let's check it out. This is set to 2, this is set to 3. Level 2, level 4. When this is done, I'll look at all 7 levels in the Buydeem, all 5 levels on the Breville. Although it has 12, I'm just doing the 5 notches on there. And we'll see how even and consistent they both are. And after this video's over, I'm gonna probably make the biggest toasted sandwich I ever had. Level 4 is kind of smoky over here. Level 4 is kind of smoky. Level 5 smoky over here. These upper levels are just gonna smoke. That's all there is to it. You gotta deal with it. So let's take a look at all 5 for the Breville and all 7 from the Buydeem and see how they compare. Taking a look at the full range with the Buydeem on top and the Breville on bottom. The Breville I had 5 toasting levels and the Buydeem had 7. These are the extreme upper end. This is the center and the extreme lower end and everything in the middle. I would say everything looks pretty good. The only issue I really had was the Buydeem on level 6 seemed darker than the 7. But beyond that, I think that they all look really good. I don't really have any complaints about this. All right, let's try the frozen feature now. I got some frozen waffles. I'm gonna try a couple of them right in the center and see how they turn out. I got this one right in the center. Press the lever down and hit the defrost button. On this one, I hit the toast button and the frozen button. We got the defrost button activated. We've got the frozen button activated. Right in the center, right in the center. This is a head-to-head waffle matchup. I'll see if any one of these comes out on top or not, or if they're both equal. I guess I'm having waffles for lunch today with a side of toast. All right, the Buydeem finished first, and it feels nicely toasted. It feels nicely toasted. Here's what we got. It looks pretty good. The Breville's taking significantly longer than the Buydeem did. Both were set right in the center toasting level, but it's taking longer. Is it just slower or the results that much better? We shall see. Now the lift and look turned off, so that means it's almost done. Here we go. I'm kind of excited. All right, let's see what we got. It's a little bit, these are beautifully toasted. Let's take a look at all 4 of these. At the top, we've got the Buydeem. These were the outer sides. And these are the inner sides. They're not quite as done, but there's no soft spots or cold spots. Now the Breville, this is the outer side. That looks perfect. Once again, the inner side is also not quite as brown, but there's also no cold spots either. I'm tempted to say it's a tie, but I also think the Breville, the evenness is just absolutely perfection. So I don't know, it's pretty close. All right, next up, let's try the bagel function. Now the bagel function supposedly only toasts the inside, not the outside. Let's put them right down the center and try these once again. Both of them actually have indicators on the toaster itself to show that the bagels face inward. On the Breville, it says bagels face inward. On the Buydeem, there's this little graphic showing the bagels facing inward too. All right, this time the Breville's done first. We have a nicely toasted bagel center and the outside is just a little bit warm. I'm gonna keep trying this until I get a use for it. The Buydeem is done. It's nicely toasted in the center. Outside's also a little bit toasted. There we go, Buydeem on the inside. Breville on the inside. Pretty close if you ask me. Buydeem on the outside, Breville on the outside, virtually identical as far as I'm concerned. Which one do you guys think is best? They're pretty close to me. Each one of these has a couple of unique features I want to test out real quick as well. Now, one of the most popular features in the Buydeem is this reheat feature. So you can take a piece of toast like this that's already been toasted, warm it back up without retoasting it. Let's try it out. Take a close look at what we got here. That's the before side 1, before side 2. So I've got it in there on the reheat feature. Hopefully it doesn't retoast it. It is in there reheating, hopefully not retoasting. All right, yeah, I don't think it really got any browner. So I think and it is warm. So I think that did work. It was only a few seconds. It was very quick. That's kind of a cool feature. I like that. I haven't seen that in a lot of toasters, but I do like it. Moving on to the Breville, there are 2 things on here I'm gonna try out. The lift and look and the a little bit more feature. Let's try both of those. All right, so it's been going for a little bit. Let me take a look and see how it's doing here. Lift and look. And it comes up. Take a peek at it. Oh, that's not done yet. It's still not toasted. Oh, went back down on its own. I like that feature. That's kind of nice. Take a little peek at it and let it keep toasting. What if you can do it again? Let's do it again. Lift and look. Here it comes. Take a little gander at it. It looks pretty good to me. Keep toasting. And there it goes. That is kind of nice. I'm going to turn this down so it doesn't toast too much, so I can try the a bit more feature. All right, and I want a little bit more toast than that. Let's try it a little bit more. And there it goes again. Goodbye. See you in a little bit. We'll see how much additional toasting it actually does. It looks like it gave it about 1 additional toasting level, so that's kind of nice. So in the end, I think both these are great toasters. I'm probably going to stick with the Breville because it has more features, although I do like the reheat function of this one, and I can see why some people would pick this over the Breville for that feature alone. I kind of wish this one had the reheat function because that's the only thing that it's kind of missing from this one. Overall, I can see why they're both highly rated, and I think you can't go wrong with either one of them. But that's all I've got. If you've tried either one of these toasters, tell me what you think in the comments below. I appreciate you watching, and I'll see you next time.